So, let's bring on that hero of heroes, that Sarien sanitizer, that space-age swashbuckler, the man you know and love, Roger Wilco! So, Roger Wilco, hero of Xenon, how goes it?
Well, I just flew in from Vega 9, and boy are my arms tired.
Oh, Roger. So, tell us, how did you manage to defeat all of those nasty Sarians?
Those Sarians were a piece of cake. I had no problem cleaning their clocks. Whoever planned to steal the star generator didn't know who they were messing with.
Whoa, that's some pretty tough talk there, eh? What do you think, Paul?
Yep, pretty tough talk.
Don't you worry about retribution, Roger?
Revenge? Nah. I hear their leader is a real hoser. Some guy named Overhaul or U-Haul. Something stupid like that. In fact, he's probably cowering in some deep dark cave somewhere. Anyway, let me tell you about the time I wrestled this spider droid.
How dare this puny, insignificant life form insult my superior intellect? I'll teach him to make monkeys out of my men. Get me, Wilco. I'll not stand to be made a fool in front of the whole universe. I'll squash him like a Velcro fly. Can't we finish watching other droids first, boss? Don't question me, banana breath. I said move. Wilco.
As you will recall in our last chapter, you had just foiled the Sarian's feat. You became a hero by saving countless lives and returning the Stargent. Life was beautiful. But heroes come and go, and people soon forget. The promotion to head janitor was no consolation, especially since you are the only sweating like a pork beast in a pressure suit while relocating space debris in zero gravity. Life sucks. Again. Orbital Station 4 as we begin this chapter of our story. A beep emanates from your wristwatch. The broom floats away. You can't pick the logo off the iWatch.
Wilco, get in here, on the double. You've got a mess to clean up in the shuttle which just returned. One of the passengers got space sick on the way down. Besides, you should have been gone out there an hour ago. Get a move on.
With that, the image You are whisked away to... Stand by for decont... You can't access... You can't You open the only locker for which you have a combination. Pew! Putrid waves. You bravely peer into the locker to... just walk.
It's about time you got in here, Wilco. Head to the shuttle bay on the double. I'm warning Bob, send Roger here directly to the shuttle bay and nowhere else until the job is completed. You hear that, Wilco? No.
You press the big button. You enter the shuttle and start. You are surprised to...
Hey, what the?
Your protest is cut short as two interstellar ruffians. Time passes. More time passes. A strange dream turns into the realization that you are being shaken upon awakening from your forced rest. As you try to struggle, as your eyes dial into focus, he is a sagging mass of flesh that appears to have been human at one time.
Well, did we have a nice nap? I thought, welcome to my humble fortress, Roger Wilco. It was to be my ultimate war weapon until... Anyway, you ruined my Sarien operation. Oh, I suppose I should have known better than to use those... I have devised a plan so horrible, so frightening. I intend to infest your planet with thousands of these genetically engineered daughters. My plan was to kill you, but I've had a change. Get it?
He peers down at the hoses protruding from his chest, which are connected to a life support system.
Forgive me, I'm a kidder. I've decided I would get much more enjoyment watching you suffer. My associates will escort you to the...
An injection renders you unconscious. Your drugged carcass, upon reviving, you look through the viewing port to see... After touching down on a giant...
Uh-oh. Oh, great. Now I suppose we're out of fuel. Way to go, dwarf breath. Don't blame me. It was your turn to fill up. You're always forgetting to do it. But hey, don't talk to me that way, you slime bucket.
The argument between the two guards is cut short as Good thing that guard broke your fall. He doesn't look too happy about it, though. The hovercraft has been reduced to a... You hear a high-pitched beeping sound. You carefully remove the piece of undoing so causes the high-pitch...
For some reason, I got this sense of...
You search the grotesque body and find a small, thin...
What was that?
You startle a small creature. It could be a rat. The startled bunny has... You reach into the deep dark hole and pull out the bunny.
I guess realism isn't a concern here in the future.
You shove the unstable or you're a sick man. You hear something. Oof, that was a tense moment. You quickly untie the little guy. Before disappearing through a tiny hole in the brush, drop the order form into the box. The mailbox hums and buzzes. The tray, which is actually... You take the... You take possession of... You can see a little guy across the clearing picking some... You startle the odd little pink dude. As Spock, you place the rabbit carcass on the... Nothing like like a good explosion to brighten up your... And you thought you'd have to navigate the maze like vines. You are not. You snag some of the odoriferous... You rub the berries all...
Yeah.
The swamp monster attacks you with its slime. You distinctly hear the sound. You have stepped into it. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs. Take the glowing... That bolt... Once again, you... You have gotten out of the deep spot and... This tree is dead, and seems to be free of the slick secretions of some of the other... Crack! Oof. Holy log jams, Batman, you almost bit the big one. Yikes, you have been snared. Suspended above. After a while, the cerebral fireworks begin. Once again, time passes. And then, some more time. While unconscious, you have the strangest of... You hallucinate that your name is Larry. You are wearing something known as a leash. While prowling a locale known as the Land of the Lounge Lizards, you spend your time badgering women of the area. Just then, consciousness begins to creep in. Your head begins to clear and you realize that you have been imprisoned. Your captor appears to be that
Hi. My name's Roger. Roger Wilco. There's, obviously been some mistake here. Can you let me out of this cage?
The hunter stands and takes a look. His face, though strange in its own right, bears an expression one might... Upon impact with the ground, you reach through the bars and... You slip the key into the... You grab the rope. Gripping firmly with your legs, you tie the rope. You take out the gem and hold it in your palm. The ground below your feet disappears. You tumble down through the darkness. That was a rather spectacular entrance. All systems seem to be intact. The dwellers mumble something. Your translator responds.
Follow us, Beanpole.
Got it.
canyon. You look to be from out of town. On behalf of all of us, I would like to thank you for saving our compadre from the hunters. You are welcome to stay in the canyon as long as you like. When you are ready to leave, simply say the word. When you leave, however, we must seal the exit behind you for our own protection. Goodbye.
Now, what was that word?
Gameplay note. You realize that the little pink dudes weren't kidding around. It's showing some thought. Better. Not a good thing you found that gem. Not only does it light your way, but you have an opportunity to stand and spare your tender knees. The crystal clear water gives off a gentle glow. As you enter another of the mysterious subterranean chambers, you realize that the water is now racing toward a giant whirlpool in the middle of the area. You are Your body is sucked down, until finally you are able to resist no more and must yield to... Geez, that was quite a trip. Peering around, you find yourself back in the open again. You notice some writing on one of the writing says, "Beware, Labian Terra Beast Zone." You give the whistle a toot. You hear an incredible whirring and grinding sound. Suddenly, a Labian terror beast buzzes into the room like a tornado. You chuck the Cubik's Rube puzzle over to the beast. The beast appears interested in your offer. Curiosity gets the better of him. He seems quite perplexed by... You pick up a small rock. You're so clever, Roger. You create. The guard seems to have heard a sound and moved. You cleverly use the athletic supporter to sling the rock at the guard. We like the way you think. He drops like a lead parakeet. The ripe thud of impact.
Let's see that again.
This time, let's look at it closer. Hold it there. I want to see the rock hit the guard.
Let's do it then. In super slow.
Now that is more like it.
Did you see that, Bloodfly?
Heck yeah.
You're one sick mofo, Lighted.
You're one sick mofo, Blackthorn.
The dirt looks to have... It's the remains of the... You slide the keycard into the slot, then remove it. As soon as the elevator... You climb into the shuttle through... Everything looks automatic. The panel is loaded with clusters of... The shuttle begins to vibrate as the... You feel the ship begin to lift off. You're off the planet! Good work, Roger! A tone sounds. A soft, synthesized voice note. The screens are suddenly splashed with the incredible horror.
Hello, Roger Wilco. I've been waiting for you. Once again, my subordinate, don't bother trying to pilot the vehicle. I have taken control. You will be arriving at...
His image is frozen on the screens. The ship changes course as if it had a life of its own. Through the window, you see your apparent destination. The massive bay doors meet, jarring. As you step down, the shuttle door slams shut behind you. You are quite surprised not to find several of Vohaul's guards waiting to... You have the funny feel. You take some of the toilet paper. You never know when it's going to come in handy. The writing etched on the wall. For a good time, call the helmet master. The writing etched on the... Ken was here. So was Owl, but we had to repaint after. The writing etched on the wall. Scott, is it done yet? The sound comes from... Suddenly, one of your senses...
And you're listening to WMBR.
Hi there, robot. Can you...
I'm too depressed.
What have you got to be depressed about? Working in a monolith burger...
Life. Don't talk to me about life. Brain the size of a planet, and here I am working in a monolith.
Yowza! Sorry to bother you.
No, you're not.
I'm the president of Monolith Burger. I'd like to thank you for coming into Monolith Burger today, and I hope you enjoy your 100% synthetically made meal. Here at Monolith Burger, we use only the...
You grab the small lighter, which is...
synthetic materials in assembling your meal. Please enjoy.
You push the service button, but no one waits on you. It's probably... Wait a minute. There's something stuck in the slot. Wow! Someone left behind a perfectly good... Cool, another access card. You're getting to see a lot of these. Just need. You can't take. You can't. You take the glass cutter from the craft table. You never know when you. You can't. You can't. You start pressing buttons. You grab the waste. Aren't you amazed by how much stuff an adventure game hero can carry? You're not The walls here are sturdy. The walls here are... It reads 3 banana. That makes no sense. This door is locked. This readout looks to monitor Vohaul's... Dear Lord, this man has a PAL designed for... This readout look... Good work.
Hi, I'm Roger Wilco.
Ah, Roger.
The man just looks at you and lick. The creature says... This is the most It's a man. Aha! You know it's quite dark in here. Oh no! One of the cells is opening! Who knows? Barrier springs up. Another barrier. You feel the floor shift below you. Using formerly uncharacteristic creativity, you apply the suction cup-like plunge. You release your grip and drop. Great idea. You look for a good... While receiving a nice hosing yourself, the basket fire is extinguished. Seconds later, allow the sprinklers sense accomplishment. Your fire and subsequent just standing obliviously ready arm.
So, Roger Wilk, I must say, I'm quite impressed with your resourcefulness. Feel free to stick around and observe the downfall of your... Going somewhere?
Give it up, Vohaul. It ends here.
Never. I will not be defeated by a janitor.
You feel a beam of light emitting from a unit in the sea. In a matter of seconds, you are broken down into micro... Again, the beam strikes, this time blasting into a glass jar on the console.
I'll be darned. My miniaturization beam does work. In the old days, I'd test these things on myself. But, as you may have noticed by my appearance, being my own, I guess this will keep you out of my way once and for all. You'll make a nice conversation.
With that, Vohaul turns away to put finishing touches on Xenon's face. The newly cut... You wiggle your slim carcass through the... Way to go, Roger! You've just disconnected Vohaul's life support system. You can see Vohaul struggling to take his last few breaths.
Not you again. You think you have won, but all you...
He reaches up and flips a switch before... Type the action you would like to perform, press enter. You are once again reconstituted. An examination of his repulsively turgid fabric-encased mass reveals nothing other than the tubes which supplied. You do notice the letters SHSR written in pen on the back. There's a lot of information on the screen. The asteroid is in a decaying orbit, and the insurance...
Maybe the letters from Vohaul's hand will help.
You type in the code SHSR. It worked! The launch of the salesman has...
Thank you for pushing the self-destruct mechanism. This ship will self-destruct in exactly 5 minutes.
open the box and, noticing an oxygen mask, a section of the glass tubing, fortunately wearing the mask. No.
Self-destruct will commence in 4 minutes.
There is a self-destruct override button on this control panel. The sign below it.
Self-destruct will commence in 3 minutes.
The robot has apparently decided that it is... You hit the big red button. Warning! Emergency escape vehicle launch sequence. Phew! You're going to have to stop cutting these escapes. Well, you must feel pretty good right now. You also managed to save your own skin. And just look at that score. Pretty darned impressive. Suddenly, a warning signal draws your attention to the front oxygen meter. This is just great. You knew it was too good to be true. You have maybe 5 minutes of air left. You slide down the plexiglass. You make the split-second decision to enter the sleep chamber. It seals automatically. Soon you are overcome by a pleasant drowsiness. You begin to drift away into a deep sleep with the satisfaction. Now, if someone would just pick you up somewhere along the way. So long, Roger Wilco, and thanks again for saving your people.
One, two, three, four.
galaxy, cleaning all the windows so people can see. Got to take a nap now, got to take a nap now. Get a little sleep before we stop to eat. What the table's gonna fix that mess. Everybody knows that I'm the best. Gotta get a squishy, cleaning up the loop before we. The leaves sing along through the sky. Got a little clean up by my side. Mopping up the floors, baby, keeping it clean. I'm a space janitor, don't you know what I mean? Take a little bit, I'm gonna get some more. Then I see you, honey, moving out the door. And got my broom, baby, gonna sweep you up. I'm a space janitor, can you keep it up? Cruising across the galaxy, cleaning all the windows so people can see. Got to